So when I learned about Gonzalo Lira's death in Ukraine, I was extremely upset. It was terrible news for numerous reasons. Number one, this was an American citizen who died in a foreign prison. Number two, this was an American citizen who had been in custody in that country for several months, and our own State Department had done nothing to get him out. Now, for those who don't know, Gonzalo Lira was an American citizen born in California in 1968, and he was many things. He was a novelist, a screenwriter, a citizen journalist, and some would say a bit of a muckraker as well. And I suspect if he were here today, he would probably agree with that last term. He had been living in the Ukraine for the past few years because he had fallen in love with a woman, and they had started a family together. They had 2 small children, and this is something that Gonzalo was very proud of. Now, in addition to being a citizen journalist and family man, Gonzalo was also an ardent critic of the Ukrainian regime, Zelensky's Ukraine. He was a heavy critic of their war with Russia, and he was even a heavier critic of the United States government and their foreign policy under Joe Biden. So when it was revealed in May of 2023 that Gonzalo was arrested by Ukrainian authorities, essentially for criticizing their war, a lot of people in the United States were up in arms about this. They were very upset about this. Now, according to Gonzalo's father, from July of 2023 until January of this year, Gonzalo was abused. He was medically neglected. He was extorted for hundreds of thousands of dollars, tortured, and eventually killed by the Ukrainian regime. And during this time, during this 7-month stretch, the United States State Department did next to nothing to get this man out of custody and to get him out of Ukraine and back home to America. Now, the State Department can only have 2 responses to this reality. When asked, hey, why did you let an American citizen rot away and be murdered in a Ukrainian gulag? They only have 2 possible responses. The first response is, well, we tried and we just couldn't get the job done. The Ukrainians were just too tough for us. That response, though, would be total BS because the United States government has given billions of dollars to the Ukrainian government over the past 2 years. And if the U.S. government was serious about getting Lira out of prison, getting one of their American citizens out of Ukrainian custody, they would have just said, look, if you don't give our guy back, we're cutting off your money. And guess what? Gonzalo would have been on the next plane out. So that leads us to the second possibility of why this happened. This happened because it's what the American government wanted to happen. Gonzalo Lira was fairly influential in his relatively small circle online. You know, he was not Tucker Carlson, he was not Drudge Report, he was not even Alex Jones, but he did have a significant pull with his audience of several thousand people in his non-stop criticism of the Ukrainian regime as well as the regime in D.C. was a source of embarrassment for the American government. And so it becomes easy to see why they allowed this to happen. And unfortunately, it goes to show the illegitimacy of this U.S. government in D.C. A lot of people are talking about elections and stolen elections and rigged elections and where are the ballots and conspiracy this and no, it's not a conspiracy. I don't need any of that to see that this government is illegitimate, that this D.C. government is totally illegitimate. All I need to see are its actions. And the actions regarding Gonzalo Lira speak volumes. Because he was an American citizen that dared speak out against this regime, they wanted him dead and gone, and they allowed that to happen in Ukraine under Zelensky's regime. So my thoughts, my prayers, a lot of my energy goes out to Gonzalo Lira, his partner, his children, his family back home. Because for them, they're never going to see him again, not on this planet. And that is because that's the outcome that Washington, D.C. wanted. It's a disgusting move by the State Department. It's a disgusting move by this federal government. And quite frankly, it goes to show just how little they think of you and me and the U.S. Constitution. This is Kevin in Texas saying God bless you, and I'll talk to you later.